Hi, let's talk about something very exciting. Something that has saved or made hundreds of millions of dollars around the world. Something that is used in very critical situations like hostage situations. Something that has made deals happen for a much bigger profit than was expected because the right negotiation was made. So let's talk about negotiations. Now, in this case, we're talking about negotiations in real estate. Why do people negotiate? Is negotiation done properly in real estate? Is it actually being practiced at all? And how to do it. So all these depend on different circumstances. Let's say that you are selling a house and then there is a buyer who has seen the house, they are preparing an offer and they do send it. Normally what happens in this industry is that the listing agent realizes that there is an offer in the mailbox, in their inbox, and then they open it, look at it, discuss it with the seller, and actually there is no negotiation made between the buyer's agent and the seller's agent, and that's how it is, unfortunately, in many cases, not always. Now, what could have been done more properly from the buyer's agent's side for a much better offer? Here's a scenario. The buyers see the house. They like the house, then they want to make an offer. The buyer's agent is supposed to call the listing agent, ask a few questions to get a feel of what's most important to the sellers. Sometimes it's not 100% the price. Sometimes there are other things that matter the most to the sellers. Sometimes you could make a lower offer but give something that the seller wants, like time. Now, why do people negotiate in the first place? Some people negotiate because it's a cultural thing, because they think if they don't negotiate, they have left something on the table. Sometimes it is just a matter of let's give it a shot and see what happens. Is that a good idea or not? We'll talk about that maybe in this talk or later. And another thing is, another reason people negotiate is the house has been sitting on the market and the buyer thinks, okay, something is either wrong with the house or the price is high. Could be the case, may not be the case. That's not always the case though. So let's say we have seen a house, let's say you are my buyers and we have seen a house, we want to make an offer. The conversation the call that I would make is this. I would call the listing agent. I would ask where they are with an offer. Are they expecting any offers? Have they had any offers? If they have had any offers, why the offers didn't work? And then I would ask what's important to the sellers. To give you a live example, we just closed on a house a few days ago, on this past Friday, 4 days ago, where the house came on the market at $799. My buyers really wanted the house. And we knew that the sellers would get multiple offers. So the house was $799 and we made an offer of $810. Yes, in this market that can happen if the house is priced under the market value, which can happen. So the house was on the market for $799. We made an offer for $810. However, what I did is I had a conversation with the listing agent. I knew that the sellers needed time to find the next house. So I had a conversation with my buyers. We gave 45 days to the sellers to stay at the house after closing. We got the house at $810. The appraisal came back at $825, meaning my buyers are $15,000 ahead of the game. Plus, they got the house that they really wanted. Plus, the sellers did not stay in the house 45 days later. Actually, they moved out the day after closing because they already found the house pretty quickly, the house that they wanted pretty quickly. Now, let's say we are on the seller's side and somebody makes an offer because the house has been on the market before, let's say with another agent or whatever the circumstances were, the house has been on the market before and now you could get lowball offers. This seller contacts me and they say they want to list their house with me. They listed the house with the wife's best friend. Understandable. Is that the right way of choosing a realtor, different story. But that's what they did, and the house sat on the market for 169 days. That's pretty long. Was it the price? It was not, in my opinion. It was other things. The house was not presented correctly. So the sellers contacted me. They said they want to move. They're done with this. They're tired. They were willing to drop the price to $699. I saw the house twice. I took notes, and I told them that I needed them to do two things. And I would price the house at $750 and sell it close to or at $750. Well, they agreed to do what I had asked, and they did the repairs. There were two things that they cost them less than $7,000. We went on the market on a Friday. That's normally a good day to go on the market. Not necessarily all the time, but usually, depending on many other factors. And on the Sunday, 2 days later, I was actually a guest in Bucket at a friend's house, and I got a call back from the agent that had shown the house. I called the agent, had asked to see if they were interested in the house, and the agent / buyer, a very inexperienced lady, called to see if I had any questions. I asked if they were making an offer, and she said yes. I should be expecting an offer this evening. I call and I asked, I said, okay, so what's the offer? She says, oh, you'll get it in the email. So I knew right off the bat that the offer is going to be low. So I asked it again, okay, that's great. Can you tell me what the offer is? And then she starts talking about the negative things about the house. This needs to be changed. This thing is old. The house is older, blah, blah, blah. And I explained, yes, I understand. We priced the house based on the condition of the house. And then she mentioned the house has been in the market before. I also handled that objection. Eventually, I could find out that the offer was going to be $440. Now, realize that the asking price was $750. So I said, I didn't fight. I didn't say you're wrong or anything. I said, that's fantastic. Let me ask you, where did you get that price? Oh, the house is old, this and that. And I said, yes, I understand that. And while she's talking, I go to my emails. I get the email notification of her showing. I copy it. I forward the comps that I've already prepared to her. And when she finishes her talk, I said, look, I've already done the work. I'm going to send you the comps. And there's also the feature sheet about the house. Yes, you picked on the house, but these are also the things that are in this house, which are of value, and obviously you've liked the house, and I want you to see this. Story short, after about 35 to 38 minutes of conversation, she came up to $735, and she says, I'm not going a penny over. I said, okay, go ahead and send me the offer. I called the sellers, and I told them this, and they said, we want to take the offer. We don't want to lose this thing. Now, if I had not had that conversation with the buyers, they would have made an offer of $440, and this deal would never work out because the sellers would reject it, or it would be too many offers and counter offers and would never pan out. Point is, there should always be a real conversation, not text, not email, real conversation, which doesn't happen often, unfortunately. But that's the whole industry. Some agents do it, most don't do it. It's a matter of understanding what the buyers and the sellers' needs are. And if we do it right, we can make money for our clients. And then everybody comes to closing, everybody feels happy, and we have done our job right. My name is Pyvand, Realtor since 2004, 21 years now, and happy to answer any of your real estate questions and fulfill your real estate needs, buying or selling a house. Thank you for watching.